The 2021 virtual Liberal Party convention has come to a close, and it's likely to be the last convention for the party before the next federal election. As David Cochrane reports, speakers used the occasion to contrast the Liberal Party's stances from the opposition Conservatives on several issues.
I can now officially call the 2021 Liberal National Convention to order.
An unconventional convention for unconventional times. Liberals gathering virtually to act politically.
What would we have seen if Erin O'Toole and the Conservatives were in power when the pandemic hit?
That theme persisted throughout, a relentless critique of the Conservatives' views on everything from climate change to pandemic spending.
We know that the Conservatives do have a price that they can put on lives.
It was largely an exercise in sharpening their pitch for the next election, with the Deputy Prime Minister dropping broad hints about the upcoming budget.
COVID has created a window of political opportunity and maybe an epiphany, as you put it, on the importance of early learning and childcare.
And a potential star candidate dropping subtle hints about his political future.
I'll do whatever I can to support the Liberal Party in our efforts to build a better future for Canadians.
There was nothing subtle about the Liberal leader's speech.
The problem for Erin O'Toole is that he's not interested in real solutions to real problems.
As Justin Trudeau painted his main rival as out of touch.
How disconnected do you have to be to flirt with disinformation on public health and vaccines while a deadly virus takes loved ones, friends, and neighbors? And how disconnected do you have to be to refuse to admit climate change is real?
It's all about drawing a sharp contrast before the next election, and with COVID cases surging, the most likely window for that is this fall, when vaccinations should be more widespread and life can hopefully start to return to normal. David Cochrane, CBC News, Ottawa.
Let's turn now to the NDP. It's the second day of that party's three-day virtual convention. BC Premier John Horgan said his win in that province in October shows that Canadians are ready to see the NDP in power. But the party will keep the spotlight on their federal leader, Jagmeet Singh. Olivia Stefanovic is in Ottawa, and she tells us how the NDP is planning on doing that.
As this national convention of the NDP goes underway this weekend, the party is launching a new ad campaign. Starting tonight on Hockey Night in Canada, there will be a new ad featuring leader Jagmeet Singh. And unlike traditional political advertisements that we've seen from other parties, Singh doesn't actually speak in this ad, which is untraditional. The party focuses on images of working people and text to tell a story about how the NDP fought for Canadians during this pandemic, and it makes the case that Canadians, their lives could be perhaps even better if they support Singh in the next federal election campaign. And this ad is really targeted towards young people. That's the voting age group between 18 to 40. And the party is trying to speak to voters who might be disappointed with the Liberal government, who perhaps voted Liberal in the past, but didn't get everything that they had hoped for, and they want to try something new. Those are the voters that the NDP is trying to win over through these new ads. And we're going to see Singh a lot more, not only on these TV and radio ads, but also online. Singh has a major presence already on social media, and he's about to get even more visible through other means. The party has lots of plans for this, but the challenge going forward, Natasha, will be how to translate those digital hearts, those likes, into votes, especially since the party is targeting an age group that doesn't traditionally head to the polls in large numbers. So I spoke to campaign insiders, some strategists about this. Here's what one of them had to say.
Rather than trying to chase votes directly from younger people, we only need to find a small subset of hyper-engaged young people, give them disproportionate access, disproportionate skin in the game, perhaps even disproportionate titles on the campaign so that they can be the standard bearers to their social network. Because if they reach out versus we as a campaign reaches out, there's a significant difference.
So, Natasha, I asked our colleague Eric Renier, who's CBC's polling analyst at the Parliamentary Bureau, to dig up the latest numbers on the age group of 18 to 34, just to see how the parties are doing when it comes to attracting that young vote. And it shows that although the NDP is popular among young people, the party still has a bit of work to do. The NDP is currently trailing the Liberals by 6 points.
CBC's Olivia Stefanovic in Ottawa. Meanwhile, Erin O'Toole participated in an annual meeting for Canadian Conservatives. The Conservative Party leader said that if he becomes the next Prime Minister, he will have a different approach from the Liberals for restoring the economy.
So we're not only opposing the ideological approach from Mr. Trudeau, the reimagining exercise you're talking about, that he refers to building back better. That's what Mr. Trudeau and his small group of advisors think is better. That's going to leave out millions of Canadians in sectors that they just don't support. It's an ideological kind of backwards approach that's actually causing division in this country. So our recovery plan includes everyone. That's why I'm reaching out to private sector union leaders. We have to be the party for people that want to work, that want to get communities and families back on track, not reimagining, not serve for forever through a UBI and everything is free while the private sector is being hollowed out. It is a recipe for a poorer future.
O'Toole also repeated his vow to cancel the federal carbon tax if the Conservatives take power.